The number one mistake I feel like people make when trying to build their brand on YouTube is giving it all at once. It's just so much of who they are. Every single aspect they feel as though they need to put onto their YouTube channel, which makes their YouTube channel feel scattered and not cohesive. And I feel like the number one way to avoid that is figuring out what is level one of my brand and how can I package that into my YouTube channel. So once you figure out level one of your brand, you want to turn that into a clear and consistent message for your YouTube channel. And how do you do that? The first place to start with creating a clear message for your brand is basically you kind of have to zoom out so you can zoom in. So I want you to think about, where do you want to be 5 years from now? That would be the first question I think you should put into your mind and start to consider. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? After that, you can kind of work backwards and figure out, okay, this is where I want to be. So what is the first version of this future version of myself? So that first version of the future version of yourself, this is what I mean by level one of your brand on YouTube. You need to put that first version of yourself onto your YouTube channel. And you need to come up with a message that just represents the first version, because you don't need to give everyone everything all at once. You need to think of, like when I say version one, I want you to think of like the foundation. What is that intro messaging that you can use on your channel? And in order to ensure this message comes across clearly in your content, it all goes back to content strategy. I'm a big believer in, like, when you're first getting started with YouTube, creating a content strategy is one of the hardest parts, especially if that is not if it doesn't match your particular set of skills. You may be good, you may have the gift of gab, like you may know you're good at being on camera and you have something to say and you have a message that you want to get out there, right? But you may not be the best at content strategy, especially for YouTube. So content strategy is multi-layered. But I think from a beginner standpoint on developing a content strategy, you really want to identify your content pillars and who you're speaking to. So you want to put that first version of your future self onto your channel, but how do you actually do that? That's where your content pillars come in. Content pillars are the key themes or topics that align with that first version of your brand. They act as a guide for the kind of videos you should create to reflect your message consistently. So once you figured out where you want to be and what that version of you looks like, ask yourself, what are the 3 to 5 main topics that support that vision and message? Those topics will become the core of your content strategy and make it easier for you to create videos that align with your brand. So what's the best way to actually choose these content pillars? The goals that you want to achieve in 5 years should be the primary source of information for what your content pillars should be. Why is that? That's because you want to use your YouTube channel to support these goals. You want to use your YouTube channel to help you achieve those things. That is why you want to brand yourself on YouTube. But these content pillars should do one of these 2 or 3 things that I'm about to say. So in order to have your YouTube channel support these goals, I think a large part of that is going to be, you want to use your YouTube channel to be a source of income. And not only that, you want to use your YouTube channel to build an audience and create a community. Your goals of where you want to be 5 years from now is way more specific than, having additional income stream from YouTube and having an audience and a community. But that's like the basis of it. That's the thing that you're going to relate to without me knowing what your specific goals are. So your content pillars, they have to provide value to this audience and to this community. Value is not only given in one way. Value can be through teaching and educational type of content, but it can also be through comfort and relatability, and it can also be through documenting your process and bringing someone along on the journey. So there's also that companionship aspect and like, oh, they're doing it too type of things. You have to find out, well, how do I want to provide value? Because the way that you provide value is going to help you in the long run. You have to give in order to get. If you want to achieve your goals, which I'm assuming looks like having some level of financial flexibility, if not freedom, right? Looks like having a group of people that you can exchange your value with continuously. As you come up with new ideas and new ways to exchange your value, you always have a group of people to voice that to. And then not only that, from a community standpoint, you have created a group of people where you can feel oneness, where you can feel belonged to, and you can share back and forth of various things. I hope that gives you some type of direction for crafting your brand, your content pillars, and essentially what your brand message is going to be. It's a process to do that. It's not something that happens overnight, and I'm probably going to come out with another video going in a bit deeper. But I do want to say, staying consistent and motivated to build your brand on YouTube is a large part of this. But I genuinely think once you do identify your content pillars and your brand message, it will be much easier for you to stay consistent and motivated because you're no longer wondering what is the next video going to be about. You're no longer thinking like, does this all make sense? Am I sharing too much? Am I sharing too little? You, like I said in the beginning of this video, you will really start to build out a content strategy for your YouTube channel and really make it work for you. The videos that you end up creating, you'll start to see how it all fits into the bigger picture of your life and what you want to do with your life and the goals that you have for yourself. The things that you said you want to accomplish in 5 years with a YouTube channel and with building your brand on YouTube, that could happen in 12 months. You never know. I always like to say, and maybe I wasn't the first one to say it, but you're only one video away. I got it from Drake because he has a line where I was inspired by Drake when he was like, 24 hours from greatness, I'm that close. 24 hours of you creating content with your new content strategy, with your brand pillars, your content pillars and your brand messaging. Things can change for you in a matter of hours. You're one video away and you just never know. And it's like, if you want to build a brand on YouTube, you eventually are going to have to get a plan in place. It's fine to test out the waters, get a feel for what it's like to create videos and upload them and everything like that. But at the point when you feel like, I want to take this serious. I want to take it serious and I want this content creation to do something for me, to help me accomplish other things. I want a brand on YouTube, offline, on other platforms that allows me to move about this world and this universe in the way that I want to. Once you make that decision to be serious, you're going to have to get a blueprint, a plan, a roadmap, however you want to call it. You're going to have to get that in place because it's too much. There's too many layers to this thing to not have something to like ground you and work from. If creating a content strategy feels difficult for you, of course, there's tons of YouTube videos and other resources that can help you, but there is few things that come close to working one-on-one with someone. I am a personal brand consultant and I do specialize in brand development and YouTube content strategy. If you think you might want to work with me one day or very soon, you can join my waitlist. I may not be for you, if you're not ready to go that next step, here's the other things that I have for you. I have a free worksheet called Find Your Brand. That's in the description box. And then here's the aspect of one-on-one that you may want to tap into. Please find somebody else on the YouTube journey with you, and find a person not just wants to do it for fun and as a hobby, someone who had made that same decision. I'm trying to take this serious. Find that person and commit to meeting with them at least once a month. I promise you that's the real cheat code. It's the cheat code, because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like talking to someone on the journey, bouncing ideas off. They might have learned a YouTube strategy tip that they could share with you. Y'all could strategize together, and that might be the perfect next step for you. If you're someone who's been at this for a little while, you keep getting stuck and you keep just hitting walls and you don't know which way to turn next, the link is in the description to join my waitlist. Thank you so much. My name is Nala Wright. I don't even know if I introduced myself, but I hope this one was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.